kajo kajo kajo, kayo kayo kajo. Uyo me yo le uosa okami. Uyo me yo uyo me yo.
School from Ibadan. Yeah, we're here to represent them today. We're here in full force.
By 1938, Ibadan was the largest and second most populous city in Africa. It had only 2 secondary schools which could admit boys: Government College in Apada and Ibadan Grammar School in Molete. The total number of students in both schools was less than 300. Their intake was open to all Nigerians, meaning that many local boys who were qualified for secondary education lost out or had to seek admission in other parts of the country. An Ibadan indigene, himself a product of Ibadan Grammar School, Timothy Lajide Oyesina, decided to do something to address the situation. Who was Lajide Oyesina? He was an enlightened businessman and a pioneer who seemed to have caught the bug for mentoring and nurturing young men and boys. Chief Timothy Lajide Oyesina established the first Nigerian unit of Young Men's Christian Association (YMCA) in Kano in 1925, and he became the founding YMCA national president in 1964. T L Oyesina was also one of the first promoters of Boy Scouts in Nigeria in the 1920s. In 1938, he turned one of the rooms in his residence in Okebola into a classroom, sowing the seed of what became Ibadan Boys High School. In Oyesina's record in the school logbook on Tuesday, 26 July 1938, he wrote, "The Ibadan Boys High School, Domini Opera Pro Bono Publico, the first private school in Ibadan, is, with the government sanction, open today with 10 pupils. Standard 6, 6 boys. Standard 5, 4 boys. I am the only teacher on the staff. Prayers and benediction are said by the Reverend D.A. Williams." By this singular action, IBHS became only the second secondary school in Nigeria to be founded by an individual, following the co-educational Agri-Memorial Secondary School, Arochukwu, which was founded by the educator and politician Dr. Alvan Ikoku in 1931. In fact, IBHS was established as the first private secondary school for boys in Nigeria. Chief Oyesina was an educationist and philanthropist of excellent standard. In 1946, he also established the Ibadan Commercial Academy, later called Ibadan City Academy, for boys and girls to learn commercial and administrative skills. He also founded 5 primary schools in his lifetime. Chief Oyesina and Chief Obafemi Awolowo were close friends and next-door neighbors. Awolowo supported Oyesina's efforts by teaching bookkeeping, commerce, and civics to the young pupils at the Ibadan Commercial Academy in the early 50s. Within its first decade, Oyesina's school went through a turbulent period. In 1943, the first block of classrooms built by him was razed by fire. The people of Ibadan and the native administration rallied round to save the situation. The following year, a fierce thunderstorm ravaged Ibadan and IBHS was not spared. In 1947, the colonial education authorities ordered the closure of the school for not conforming to the education code, citing lack of requisite staff and facilities, even though it had a large number of students. Fortunately, the school was reopened in January 1948 after Oyesina had struggled to meet the conditions, particularly having a university graduate as principal and recruiting more qualified teaching staff. From that moment, IBHS blossomed with new physical structures and won laurels in academics, athletics, and football competitions. Things changed suddenly in 1975 when the federal military government took over all private schools and mission schools in Nigeria. This was a serious blow to many missions and school proprietors, including Oyesina, who was also at the time founder of Ibadan City Academy. Chief Oyesina died not long after this action by the military government. In its 85 years, IBHS has nurtured many boys that have made huge impact in Nigeria and abroad. IBHS has a huge reputation in Ibadan and has secured a special place in urban folklore that is unequaled by any school in the city. Because the school was next door to Chief Awolowo's home in Okebola, IBHS felt the impact of the political upheaval in the Western region at close range. But in a social context, IBHS was well placed. In the 1950s and 1960s, the Okebola area was where the creme de la creme of Western Nigerian society lived and played, and the boys at IBHS had within reach a wide array of amusements and entertainment, as well as useful educational and recreational facilities. IBHS has remained at its Okebola campus since 1938, and the school continues to improve its outlook and facilities.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
The school retains its reputation as one of the pioneers of education and has sustained its tradition of excellent boy education. From being the first school to win a trophy in the new Liberty Stadium in 1959, today's boys continue to record achievements in academic and extracurricular activities. For us, the old boys of IBHS, Founders Day is a day of gratitude to Chief T L Oyesina and his contemporaries. We can never fully repay him and the numerous teachers, but we hope that our contribution to the school will continue to uplift the spirit behind the school motto, Domini Opera Pro Bono Publico.
Never, darling, never, ballin', forever, could they kick it like a coacha, baby, enter, the money could you go paper, you want you a big but you want a bamba, Osha Begbe, Oshidi Bamba, oh yeah, Odo, Aquaba, you could be Gaza, could be Tomagana, Seki.